actually live. As always, let me check my personal profile to make sure that everything is working, to make sure that my sound is good. Okay, and we are ready to rock and roll. Today's live training is based around how I make 21 reels a week, and I post over 105 times every single week. I think it's actually closer to 21 times 7. It's 145 times a week I post using 21 reels. So I've made a lot of content this year. I'm sure that you've noticed. There's a few things that I've done to make it really, really, really easy for myself to produce as much content as possible. Number one is I am inherently lazy. I procrastinate like you wouldn't believe. So I've got a really nice home office. My camera is set up, my laptop set up, got nice lighting. So I can just sit in this chair. I can turn my camera on, microphone's connected, and I can start making content. So I think lowering your barrier to make content by not having to set up a phone, a tripod, a microphone for me has helped greatly. So number one, make it as easy as possible for you to press record and just start making content. Number two thing is I make content that I like. So for me personally, I am a terrible writer. Terrible. I'm sure you've noticed there is spelling mistakes all over my profile. I just cannot see the spelling errors. It's like something in my brain that doesn't work. So I'm a terrible speller. I'm a terrible writer. So I am not going to make blogs. It's what my business partner, Mitch, does. He's an amazing writer. He writes the emails. He sends the texts. He writes the YouTube descriptions. So I do not do things that I don't like. I don't mind being on camera. I don't mind talking, which is why I focus on this. Number two is be yourself. So speak how you speak. Just be 100% authentically you. If you do make a lot of content and you have to not be yourself for 2-3 hours a week, it's not going to be an enjoyable experience. So if you pair making content that you like and pair being yourself, I actually find it quite easy to make content. Now, into the actual technical side itself, I'm going to run you through all the gear that I have and what you'd need to do to achieve this type of picture that you're seeing right now. So about 2 months ago, I went out and I bought a Sony ZEV10, a Sony CEV10. It's about $1,000. It is known as a YouTube camera, a talking head camera, where it can sit on a tripod. You can run it through to your desktop, your MacBook, connect it via your computer. And as opposed to recording on my camera, I'm actually recording on my computer. So a Sony EV10, about $1,000, really, really good camera. It's been a lot easier for me to make content and to also Gary V's model, document, don't create. So when I'm doing sales calls, when I'm doing client check-ins, pretty much everything I do, that camera is just running into the background, into my MacBook. Therefore, it doesn't mean that I have to actually face the camera and talk. The only time I do this is right now when I make one live training a week, a talking head video. So once again, camera is a Sony ZV-E10. Now, I've got two microphones. Now, this microphone here is a Samson Q9U. This is called a dynamic microphone, so you have to be really close to the microphone for it to actually work. I also have a Rode Video Pro Mic Go 2, which is a broadcast microphone, which records the entire room. So talking head video, you would use a dynamic microphone. A video where you're just walking around the house, vlog style, you would use a broadcast microphone. So Samson Q9U, it's about $150, and the Rode Video Pro Mic 2 is about $150. So in total, two microphones, one camera, $1,600, and for me, it was worth every single penny. Now, so we've gone through making content that you like, not doing things that you don't like, being yourself, the actual gear I use. If you don't want to go on my camera, you can also use your iPhone. They do get an amazing quality anyway. But for me, the camera is just that next level, especially when you post in landscape mode and you go to YouTube. So one of the benefits of getting a high quality camera that shoots in 4K is you can record in landscape, i.e. what I'm doing right now. And the camera is a good enough quality that if you zoom in and cut it into a reel and you just see me, it's still really high quality. So that's why I like having the camera. Now, the content structure. At the moment, I make one live training per week, sometimes two. What you're watching right now, Typically, the live training is sparked upon what someone has asked me the week prior. So, for example, Jayme, how do you overcome partner objections? Jayme, can you do a call recording? Jayme, how in the world do you make so much content? I'll make a live training the following week. It's in my calendar every single Monday. Now, after that, I do one podcast a week, sometimes two, sometimes three, depending on the guest. I try and work around their schedules to make it as easy as possible for them to come onto the show. Now, this is where the magic happens. The live trainings, the sales calls, the client check-ins, the podcasts, I stream them through a software called eView Max Pro or StreamYard. Now, from there, you export the file and you can upload it into a software called video.ai. I think there's one called Opus Pro also. I've tried both. Video.ai is my personal preference. So, for example, I'll do an hour podcast, I'll upload it into video.ai, and it will give me about 20 to 30 reels per hour of video. Now, before I found video, I was going into iMovie and I was literally cropping it, start to finish. I was exporting it to my phone to an app called Captions to get that real version. But video is so good. So one video uploaded into video. From there, it crops about 20 to 30 reels. It's pretty good. It's pretty accurate. I do go and change the start and finish occasionally. And also, it can also add a progress bar. It can also add captions, and it gives you tons of templates. So that is how I make so much video content. One live training a week, 1 to 2 to 3 podcasts a week. One podcast would be more than enough. From there, export the file, upload it into video, and it cuts those reels. And from there, what's also really cool is it has an auto scheduling software. So for example, I will make one reel, I'll auto schedule on our Facebook business page, I'll auto schedule on our Instagram page, YouTube, LinkedIn, and TikTok. So TikTok, YouTube, our Facebook business page, Instagram. There's one more. I'm going blank here. 1 second. So we got TikTok, fitness business consulting business page, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn's. LinkedIn's the fifth one. Yeah. So for example, it creates the reel for you automatically. In video, you hit share to all 5 platforms. You can write your caption in there. Also add your hashtags. Now, I do believe that if you do not post it like natively, as in like you don't upload it to the app and you hit post, I do think the reach is lowered. But when you're doing that many videos every single week, it would almost be impossible to do this on your own without getting a VA. And I'm going to assume that you haven't got a content VA. I'm going to assume that you're doing it all on your own. Just to recap, number 1, make content that you like. I don't like writing, so I don't produce content through emails and blogs. That is Mitch's job. Number 2, be yourself. Who you see on camera, this is me. I am exactly like this in real life. On a sales call, on a client check-in, I don't change for anyone. If I was being someone that I'm not, I would find that exhausting. And when you make so much content, the inauthenticity would show through eventually. So my name is Jayme, got married, got 2 dogs, Lily Sparkles, they're always barking, like UFC, like NBA, going to Cairns on Saturday, going on States in February, love sales, love marketing, and I love all things business. That's who I am, and that's who I am on camera. Number 3 is the gear. So a Sony ZV-E10, about $1,000. Microphones, podcasts, and live trainings is a Samson Q9U. It's got a dynamic microphone. A broadcast microphone is called a Rode Video Mic Pro 2. That will be a microphone that you can also plug into your phone and you can use while you're walking around. The content structure, 1 or 2 live trainings a week, 1 to 3 podcasts per week, client calls, client check-ins, client sales. At all times, I have my camera running in the background. From there, I upload those longer landscape video files into video.ai. Every hour, you get about 20 to 30 reels. From there, it automatically chops it up for you and gives it a virality score. I still occasionally move it left and right a little bit if I want to get a certain word in or start on a certain hook. Then from there, in that same software, you can share it to 5 different platforms: TikTok, business page, YouTube, Instagram, and LinkedIn. So I try and have 3 reels a day, schedule on all those platforms 7 times a day, which is over 100 reels So, guys, I hope you found that valuable. It's one of the biggest questions I get asked is like, do you just make content all day? Like, how can you possibly produce so much? And the truth is, it's probably, I would say, if I remove the actual creation of the content, i.e., me filming this and the podcast, probably 2 hours a week, maybe 3 hours a week of actual filming. And then from there, for me to do all that, it's probably still about 15 minutes per day. A VA does help me with all the scheduling, but you can absolutely do it on your own. It may take you half an hour per day. And if you are trying to make content, you're trying to get reach, trying to get people to see your brand, I think that half hour is worthwhile. The other thing too is if I make a piece of content that goes well organically or that I really like, I'll then upload that into paid ads. I will do a video views campaign and sponsor that. It's about 1 to 3 cents to get someone to watch 15 seconds of video. The last 12 months, we've had over 1 million impressions with gym owners around Australia and about 200,000 playthroughs, which means that over 200,000 people have watched more than 15 seconds of a video. So that is where we come into that. So guys, thank you for watching on a YouTube channel. If you like, subscribe. 53 subscribers and counting. We are going to get to 100 in the next 6 months. That is my goal. Hopefully, we'll surpass that. Have a lovely, lovely day.